Good to be back.
It is.
It is. I said, how are you doing?
I'm trying. You know, you said mental health day, so like I still secretly stockpiled the news all week because I still read it myself. But then I still like took notes all week. So because like I have to keep up with the election and everything, and I can't say anything past the word election because anything past that word would be talking politics in this episode. So I cannot.
And I will update people on what we're doing, what this episode is about, because we talked about it like a couple episodes ago when we were like wrapping up because you were getting super fired up about everything. So we thought maybe it would be in Kawika's best interest to take one day and mine because, you know, sometimes I can only take so much politics and just talk. And we just hang. We have a little mental health day and just kind of shoot the shit. So yeah, that's what today we're aiming for.
Well then, to get it off on the right foot, so should we do this in order of like ourselves and then fun, or then fun and then ourselves?
Ooh, let's see where it takes. So you choose.
Okay, all right. I think at that point let's dish on life. You've been gone.
Deadly Yoga Retreat came out, and that's right. I haven't been back since that's came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys. I was on Lifetime. It was a really big moment for me. Super big moment. I used to actually watch Lifetime with my sisters and my friends, like throughout my 20s, and would drink wine and eat Five Guys, French fries, and like that was our thing. So it was like a cool accomplishment. Be like, oh my gosh, I made it on Lifetime. TV for women like me. The funny thing is, though, like, all of the Lifetime movies are so, like, it's basically, like, guys chasing the women, killing them, like, just doing basically bad things to the women. And, like, me and Patty watched it together. Patty was in it as well. Yay, Patty. And, yeah, we were just laughing because it was like TV for women, like us getting murdered.
Yeah, like I feel there's a ... when you say women. It's not a like TV for women. It's more like TV for women to get stabbed in 10 movies.
Right, and awful things happen, and yeah. So, did you like the movie? Did you like it?
You know, I get technical like when it comes to like the end product. I don't. When it comes to, like, stuff that I've been in, like, I don't put it on the, like, was it popular? Because, like, I'm always going to be biased and be like, oh, that's our little baby, you know?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. That's how I feel about it.
So, like, I really can't, in that sense of, like, giving it, like, an unbiased review, I can't, because it, like, so what I really try to concentrate on, like, I'm not, you know, because, like, we all, like, as a group put that thing together, so, like, it really, like... For me, like, when it comes to post, it's how does it meet final composition? What do you lose from it? What do you gain? So there's a couple shots that I know that didn't end up in there that kind of made me sad because I thought they were just like really beautiful, but I can understand why they weren't. So I'm not critical of them. They were really just they were really pretty money shots, but I think that just per the pace of the film, and like you can only overdose on so many shots. Like you can't just like, hey, let's throw in an extra like fucking trolley shot here just because we can. It's like, no, we only got so much time because we gotta play for TV. So like, and then them's the breaks. Yeah. And I really think
up a lot too. Like there was some pretty gruesome shots that were kind of my favorite shots. Like throughout it, they had to clean it up for TV though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I just, it's more of a how does the end product fare to like my mind's eye rather than an actual review. And I gotta say that like it pretty much hit it, and I understand where the cuts happen, you know. And I think that that's where Made for
Yeah.
TV teaches you a lot of lessons. Like I gotta say, it's not an easy game. Like some people like want to bash on, like, dude, you try to chunk out like 10 movies a year to stay relevant in that industry, you know. Like so, like the writer directors on these types of movies, like they've got to be able to like churn out again and again, and it's got to hit a specific bar. And so what if like, you know, there's really like a certain thing to like, I gotta say like TV is like the Broadway of filmmaking, you know.
Yeah.
It's a crowd that's
And like we made in 2 weeks. Like I don't think people realize the typical like TV movies. Those are like just quick little 2 week shoots.
Yeah.
Like they're so quick.
Yep. And so and with that like post and pre-production are usually pretty small, so like it's really like it takes a lot to even get a movie to look like that, you know, and especially on the budget and the time. So I gotta say for how it was put together and like how we managed to get that whole team together, like cheers Anya, that was a good show in the end.
Yeah, it was good in the end. I was pretty stoked about it. It was fun for me because it was like basically my whole wardrobe was used in that. So it was like, oh, that's my top. Oh, that's mine. Ooh, that's like there's just like so much like that I was like, oh, that's my car. So it was just fun to watch back on it.
You got any shout outs for the wardrobe vendors there?
I absolutely do. So Indigo Wild is a local brand that we featured. Her stuff is amazing, and she custom made actually one of my hot yoga suits. So there was an issue with my tattoo because TV movies, no tattoos. Well, no big tattoos, and like my back is basically an entire tattoo.
Yeah.
So, and if you've seen the movie, like my character is definitely the spiciest character out of it. So we were having like a problem because we were like, oh my gosh, how do I cover myself up but still like be, racy? And so she custom made my yoga wear. So shout out to Indigo Wild because she really pulled through and like made my character come to life. We also had Kiana Hawaii do a lot of my tops, my specific like characters tops, which were like the really flashy kind of floral. A lot of parrots were typically like throughout all of like my shirts and everything that I was wearing, and that I got from Kiana Hawaii, which is another vendor that we used. So huge shout out to them. And these are all like local brands that you can get on Maui, which is just so awesome that you can kind of like get the looks. We also featured Co-Swim, which is another popular brand on Maui. Another, female owned brand business. And she clothed Danny, the lead. A lot of her looks were actually clothed by Co-Swim, so massive shout out to Co-Swim as well. And then Tommy Bahamas did Jonathan Bennett's outfits. So we had a lot of like really great, vendors that were, Maui based.
Yeah, I didn't get to see all the brands up close, so like it was really nice to see them in the end. Because, like, yeah. I mean, I'm running around half the time, so I don't get to touch everything. I only get to touch what's broken. Mm-hmm. That's my job. So, like, that's my favorite part about seeing the end product because, like, little known thing about me, I'm the kind of production coordinator that, like, depending on what I'm fixing in a film, I will not read the script.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't really need to know the story for the job that you're doing for paperwork, putting out fires.
Well, I could go anywhere, but the thing is most of these small pictures are writer-director type of films. So are they going to need a guy in that department of fixing? No, they don't need a script fixer. They don't know, like, they don't ask for that part of your resume. Like, if you're a writer's room guy, they don't care because, like, if they have to pay you more or tell the Writers Guild, that's no. So, like, on small productions, as a production coordinator, you really only do, like, 75% of the job, and you hope for, like, that 10% range of weird where, like, you can be a puppeteer for a week or something, you know? So... Yeah, so it's
You should explain like production coordinator because it took me a while to figure out what the actual task like the court because I was like, seems like they just kind of do everything. So
we
I
do
don't
do
really
everything.
know what they do.
We're
it seems like they're doing everything, you know, and they float around. So you should explain what that title is because I know that's like one that gets a little bit like, wait, what?
We're the only official job in Hollywood without a job description. There's literally for filing purposes of understanding what the job can do, there is no job description listed legally for production coordinator.
So that's why it's always so confusing for like people that aren't actually.
It's a chameleon job. Like, it's like it's the job you take.
Because I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
Because it seems.
No, it's a super fixer position. Because it's like
you have your hand in basically a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so you kind of you have to be prepared to know all of the subset of like the departments of a movie. Mm-hmm. So like one film, like I got there's a lot of times I get thrown a grip and electric because I can you know, so it's not that hard for me to be best boy electric on a movie. You know, but then it's like, oh yeah, he was in the office all pre-production, but then like we had to shift him there and it was going to be better pay, so let's make him best boy electric there.
Right.
You know, so then like sometimes you get the credit. What was that?
I said that's nice though to be able to be thrown everywhere and be like, oh, switch it up this day, switch it up that day. Do you like it or is it a little bit overwhelming?
There's a level of infamy with it because like certain parts of your career can only be proven by story and legend because then like there's a lot of stuff that like you aren't going to get listed on other places on the call sheet for credits because it falls into no, that's your job. If we need a guy to take a bullet, he takes a bullet. If we need a guy to get thrown off a building, he gets thrown off a building. If we need a guy to ride in a horse and do crafty an hour later, that's the guy. And so, I mean, so then that's the thing. And so then, like, I'll get listed for production coordinator, but, like, a certain movie where I might guest star as, like, I've essentially been to Andy Serkis of a movie before, and, like, it doesn't go in the credits. You know? Yeah. Like, I can't go into anything else. But, like,
you were a puppeteer.
Yeah. No, and then that's, yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah, that's the production coordinator. He's puppeteering today.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of like fun things that come with the job, but then like sometimes you can't claim all the credit for it because then it's like, oh, well, you're only there for a surgeon for like 5 minutes. But then the thing becomes where that like helps you in infamy, and then that's the thing is like I'd say like I could be more braggadocious sometimes. It probably would land me more jobs, but I don't like having my life that complicated because I don't like being called as a fixer because like you have a movie that's on fire. Like I hate runaway movies. Like it's no, they're not healthy. So like being asked to fix a movie already in progress is just like living through like a real life Hail Caesar most times. So that's why I appreciate stories like that movie. But like it's really being able to be that guy that everybody wants to call again. And then sometimes whether you like it or not, because then sometimes just because like we kind of fall by our own blade as production coordinators.
So too, because UPM and production coordinator, do they sometimes do the same kind of things, or is it just because
they can do the same things, but the UPM's going to be closer to the CEO of the film.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, so like he's gonna handle the money, or he's gonna handle the people who handle the money, and then he's, you know, and that's like pre-production, the posting on the cases.
Okay.
Yeah, managing executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's all making sense.
So yeah, so like doing a lot of production coordinator work, it's really like if you want to be a showrunner one day, or you want to like control at least a sliver of every department as a creative lead, because then it's a thing. It's like, and learn it on other people's films, because in that way, like, it's easier that way because you can just, to me, it's like getting paid to be Sherlock Holmes. Because then I'm just like, I'm really just called to fix, like, I've spent a couple movies recently just sitting at a desk remotely from home, because like I can be a paralegal on a moment's notice.
That's so nice.
So but that's the thing is, like, you have to be prepared to be that, like, oh, you can call this guy for just about anything,
Yeah.
If you need him to,
You gotta be like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta be like, ooh, I got that tool. I got that tool too. What you need?
Absolutely. It's a Swiss Army knife job.
Yeah, but exciting. That I kind of like those type of jobs where it's like you never know what tomorrow.
The job is never the same.
It's always an adventure.
Yeah, there are certain things that you can count on doing it on an island. There are certain things that, like, you can count on when working with certain individuals, both good and bad.
You guys are responsible for that, like, paperwork, right? To turn it into, like, SAG and all of that.
We can be. That's actually a lot of the UPM and the assistant directors. So a lot of that ends up getting, like, the funny part is a lot of times as a production coordinator, I end up as an admin secretary.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of what it is. And then, like, it's an admin secretary. Like, I get a pen and a sword. So you kind of get to be every department but, like, the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how much a UPM or even the producers want to put on you because of your gray area, then they can come to you on their own and you make your, and then a lot of that really comes within the realm of, like, your contract. You're kind of just be expected to be able to, like, Houdini the fucking movie out of something. Whether it's
to do whatever's being asked of you.
And it's usually, like, and on the day-to-day, it's simple shit. And, by simple shit, I mean, like, oh, we've got 12 hours and we need a location. And we don't have a location. Or, we've got 2 days and we need to get either a volcano made or something that looks like a volcano from a distance. And then there's sometimes where it's like, hey, I need this moped in 45 minutes and we don't have anyone else to drive with you. So you're going to have to figure out how to shove the moped inside of the van and bring it back to location.
Yeah, this is a personal story, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. No, and that's like, and if I told you anything beyond days like that, it's very Stranger Than Fiction because, like, it's very much like, I could definitely say that's why, like, I go back to that movie Hail Caesar. Like, it sits kind of in, like, my favorite of industry films because it's like, it's the day in the life of a fixer in all the weirdest scenarios that are beyond imagination, that are stranger than fiction, and there's an ounce of truth to some of those. I mean, it's a spectacle. It really is a spectacle of a movie, but, like, in comparison to what we do.
Right, there's some truth to that.
Oh yeah,
there's some truth.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's an everyday thing on a movie to have to, like, either deal with looky loser press, and then it's another day on a movie to just, like, you need an immediate contract to, like, give somebody a bump or to, like, to replace someone on staff. Like, I mean, so, like, unless you're on, like, a movie that's kind of like cursed from the start, it's usually not a surprise on what could go wrong. So, like, and there's movies that I could say that have definitely been worse than anything I've been on in the past few years. It just, there's definitely moments where, like, there's days where I just go, really? Are you going to throw that at me today after all of this? So it's like living in an action movie inside of the movie sometimes. Because sometimes, it's like a BBC comedy fucking action movie,
The movie. This should actually be the movie what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
We live in a fast-paced world where many people are too busy to sit down and read books or news articles. But thanks to Newsly, you can now listen to the news you wish you had the time to read. By utilizing AI technology, a natural human voice reads you the news, helping you grasp the information faster and more efficiently. Newsly provides the latest news updates 24/7, letting you browse articles from topics you choose. It even has podcasts, including ours. And listeners of Rabbit Holes can get their first 30 days of premium for free, allowing you to enjoy an ad-free experience by using the special promo code in our episode description. So download Newsly today for free on iOS and Android, or visit www.newsly.me so you can stay updated on the things that matter to you.
Moving forward.
So we're going on vacation soon, but the show's going to go with us. Going to Comic-Con in the next few weeks, Sarah.
Yes, and I've actually never been to a Comic-Con, so I'm really excited.
On any level? Not even like a local one?
No, I've never been to one.
What? Now,
Never
you know
been to
what?
it, which is because I used to be obsessed with like anime, and I remember like knowing of them, but like I had no friends that were into it, so like I had nobody to go with.
What?
You know? So I was
No,
like, oh,
okay.
man,
You know what? That's it.
I guess
You know
I
what?
won't go.
We missed Request Music by minutes the last time I had to leave Island, but you know what? The next time that we were both in the same space, we need to go to Wailuku. We need to get you like... We need to find some comics. We need to find some anime. There's actually some cool local comics that just came out of like hiding that are like old school, like pulp comics. So I want to try to get that whole set while they're still over there. But no, you know what? That's crazy. No, that means that we have to take. Okay, look, this is really cool that your first con is going to be San Diego, because that's like Mecca.
Is that a big one, right? That's like the Comic-Con.
That's the OG. That's where it all started. That's seriously like this is like Hall H, the big show. But look, you know, yeah. Although we'll probably be in like room 20AB or something like that. But you know.
So what can I expect when we go there? I mean, are we watching movies? Are we just seeing costumes? Are we like what do you do at Comic-Con?
Wow. Okay. All right. We're giving you the full.
Yeah.
I get to talk to a brand new. Yep. No, we initiating you. All right. So, on its basic level, it is a pop culture convention. Okay. Specifically based around comics in its origin, but then it's kind of turned into this springboard for small press, small media. Hollywood gets involved a lot. Hollywood's kind of played a really big role in San Diego Comic-Con since like 98, 99, when it came in with the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie, and then later with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then once comics and Hollywood kind of fused at that point, it became even bigger, because there was like a certain point up until like 2002, you could walk into Comic-Con like on the day and get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's
no, yeah. I think there might be a couple tickets available if I'm not wrong. But it's only because like the cost has gone up exponentially. Because it used to be like $75 got you in for 4 days, and then like, you know, you could get a hotel for like 2 G's for the whole week and like sit right on top of the convention. Yeah. But like now in 2022 money, I think like, cause like I don't get my tickets through the same portal, because it's the professional exhibitors portal. So I don't remember what like I know the number was bad this year, and it was enough for people to still have like tickets available to buy. But like I know it was more than $1,000, which is crazy, because like a few years ago it was only like $300, $400 for like the 4 days, and then it just like quintupled in price. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So it's kind of, and that's the thing, is like mainstream cultures kind of absorbed it as like the Coachella.
Or is that like for like the whole experience, or just to get into Comic-Con?
That's just to get into Comic-Con. Outside of Comic-Con, there's a little bit over like $20 million of day of interaction created by sponsors and studios. So like AMC turned Petco Park into a zombie run, where you could get turned into a zombie and run after other people, or be someone who tries to survive the zombies. They're like Adult Swim comes out.
People?
Yeah, there's like a whole and that's the free section stuff for a lot of that. Like, that's the stuff outside of the event. Like, I went to a thing for a Comic-Con special edition. They had a Peacemaker experience for the John Cena show on HBO Max. And they gave you automatic Nerf rifles. And we went through an obstacle course with, yeah. And it had pieces of the set. And then you got to, like, run through pieces of the set and shoot at targets.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. That's not even in the Comic-Con. That's outside.
That's outside. And then you go inside and there's the entire vendor hall is used up to a degree. So there's like thousands. No, hundreds is a better number, but that's still a lot. So there's hundreds of vendors there, ranging from video game companies to trading card companies to anime vendors to comic book shops to first-time authors to B-list legends. Like, if you wanted to get your photograph taken with the $1 Million Man or like fist bump with Leia Thompson from Back to the Future, you can do that on the vending floor. And then above that is the sales pavilion, where you meet all the celebrities that in most cases they are doing autographs for charity. So then, like, you go up there and you get to meet like bigger cast members of something that are only doing like a 1 hour signing. So you wait in like a 5 hour line to try to get 2 minutes in a picture with like Lou Ferrigno, the guy who played the Hulk in the original TV show, or like a episodic character from like Quantum Leap or Star Trek or something. So like somebody in like,
are those like, do you know who's going to be what days? Like the schedule is up yet?
So when you get through ticketing and they give you your badge and everything, you get a bag, and then so like it's usually a collectible bag, and then you also get like a weekend kind of like grocery store bag that's got like the program in it. The program each year is like big. It's like phone book thick.
Wow,
so
really?
So it lists the whole schedule. There's hundreds of hours of programming every day. You can't see all of Comic-Con in one weekend. There's no like, and it's kind of a force of nature in that way. So like you kind of like you can see the schedule about a month in advance, and then you kind of decide where you're gonna go, because it's just like going to any other convention. And then the panels range from like how I made my cosplay to fans of that like show that only got one season and got canceled on Fox or something. And then you get like standout panels from like first time creators. You get studios that come out and bring big celebrities, and then you get to do Q&As with them. So like if you want to talk to Tom Holland and ask Spider-Man a question, go to Comic-Con.
Very cool, dude. I'm excited.
And that's just like 10% of it. Because that's just like 10% of it. There's still more.
Are you gonna dress up?
Well, yeah, you can dress up. There's a whole knights a tournament. Like there's a Ren Fair group outside that actually does like a tournament of like knights fight each other, and like squires come out and all that stuff.
God.
There's a lot of cosplay meetups. So then like if you dress up as like a Marvel character, there's a day to meet up on the back stairs and meet everybody else, and you just go to selfie heaven all afternoon with your friends. And then there's there was a pinball arcade, a free pinball arcade that was up at the last one in the hotel. There's lots of stuff that's afterwards. Like one year there was a Doctor Who after party put on by Sci-Fi Channel and BBC. Like, and then you can run into actors and shit like that. And then I mean, it's seriously like it's like South by Southwest or like Coachella had a baby. And they put, and it's in a much like
really?
it's one of the largest, like it's San Diego's most profitable weekend for tourism. Yeah. Like all year round. We like seriously like it in that week, San Diego makes more than it does in a year off of tourism.
Holy shit.
It gets nuts. Like one year they turned, like there was an empty building they turned into a noodle bar from Blade Runner. And you could go in and you get a free bowl of ramen and sit in there like you're on the set from Blade Runner.
What?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, and then there was another one, like one year they did the costumes of Teen Titans. So the Teen Titans show on HBO, they did the whole series of the costumes. So you got to see, like you could pretty much, short of going up to like touch the costumes, you could view them. Yeah. And then like Sega does a video game museum most years, and then Nintendo's there, all the video game companies there. One year, the Xbox booth, I got to ride a life-size dragon. They brought in a life-size dragon, and you just took a picture on a life-size dragon.
Why not?
Yeah. It's like,
Why not?
yeah, one year they had a full-size Optimus Prime robot that pretty much spent the whole week covered in a tarp.
Oh, this is gonna be so fun.
Oh yeah, and it varies. Like it's like, I'd say about 1/8 of the shopping floor is a swap meet. About half of it's like hardcore collectibles and interesting artwork. Like lots of artwork. I seriously, like, I have to stop myself on buying artwork at these damn things, because like I try to find at least like one new artist every time I go to Comic-Con, just to try to like read something new. And then but then I'll like also like try to seek out like, oh my god, this guy's finally coming to Comic-Con after like 5 years. I want to get this signed by him or something like that. So like it just, there's so much to fucking do. And then the crazy part is because like there's no good food in the facility. You have to trek out to the gas lamp. So then like, yeah, so then you also have to partition time out to go on a walk all the way down the gas lamp quarter to go find a place. Which like,
get food. I
pretty much just like made my like day-to-day lunch / dinner place La Puerta. It's the best. It's the best Southern California Mexican restaurant down there. And then there's a really good pancake house I like to do in the mornings that's over there. But yeah, and then the rest of the places are kind of just like gin joints and like sandwich bars. But
right,
yeah. There's a couple good pizza joints that closed, but yeah, you just can't, just don't go to the side of the gas lamp where the Subway is, because they're usually running like a $8 foot-long special for just ham and cheese. And so like all of the kids flock over there because they're like, oh, I can buy like 10 of these, and then that way I can still buy like 100 comic books.
Will we be able to do some like audio filming and stuff inside? Is that
Oh yeah, you could totally like, we go live from inside, and then we'll take the audio with us, and we'll just kind of, document our goings. Yeah, we'll probably, I mean, there's a lot of times when I've gone before, like, I don't know, like previous podcasts, I did a day-to-day, and we just kind of like released the best of clips of the day. And then sometimes it's just like, we just go live from our feed. I think that might actually be the best thing, is just like Instagram live it. So we'll just take a really good headset and microphone. So then that way we can drown out the crowd, and we don't have to carry a boom mic with us or anything.
That's a good idea.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be good.
Oh.
Yep. Yes. Hoping to be able to announce the panel.
Are you going to dress up for it? That's the question.
What?
Are you gonna dress?
Am I dressing up? I don't know. That kind of depends.
Are we dressing up? Are we gonna be rabbit holes? Are you gonna be the rabbit? Am I going to be Alice? Like, what are we doing?
I don't, so like depending on what panels get approved. So like I think if the podcast panel gets approved, then I would totally like, we could totally do Alice and the rabbit. I would totally be down for that. I've got enough time to build something like that.
That'd be fun.
Yep. I'd have to do it without making it seem like a steampunk rabbit, because there's already a guy down here that does a thing like that. So.
Oh, you don't want to copy.
No, exactly. So it's got to be like a really good, like very obviously Alice type of thing. And then for other days, I think that like on the day that like our regular panel is, I'd probably just do Aloha shirt, because I just don't want to be like, in press photos later talking about a movie.
Oh, like, yeah.
Yeah.
In a costume, trying to be all serious.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's hard to do that.
I'm in producer mode now.
Yeah.
Listen to my movie.
Yeah, it's hard to do that in a real chicken suit. Like, I think if I was like freaking Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, sure, then you show up as Tony Stark to the fucking panel. But it's like, what am I going to wear, So then I guess if I do, I'd like do some kind of like middle ground type of thing. So like I'd probably if I was gonna go, actually, I could totally do like a cyberpunk cowboy bebop thing, and that could totally be my Aloha Friday wear for the panel. So that totally works. But then, I don't know. I was kind of thinking of doing some like really easy cosplays this year. So I've been watching Samurai Rabbit on Netflix, and actually I finished it, and it's really good. So like, had a good time watching that, and so like I totally do. You have to see it now to figure out who the hell I'm talking about, but like I think I could do like an easy like day of Chickabooma. So thinking about that. But other than that, like, totally down for the rabbit. Let's do it.
Yes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good to know. I need to pack my Alice costume.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Comic-Con on the horizon. You went off to a yoga retreat and you didn't survive. Oh wait, spoilers.
I mean, everybody kind of figured. I mean, even like after we were filming, like the director Brian took a picture of me with blood all over.
Yeah.
Like, post it.
Post it. Everybody knows what's gonna happen. No.
Yeah. Everyone knew that I was going to die.
Well, I mean, it's kind of with slasher films like that. It's kind of like unless there's more than 3 people on the poster, everybody who's not on the poster gets killed. Like
exactly.
That's kind of like,
and like I was kind of like slutty right off the gate, so you know I was gonna die.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, but all formula. Like you were one of the glory kills. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like we were just waiting for me to die. They're like, this girl needs to die. Like she's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good old slasher movie.
With that being said,
next that we're doing too, a lot of things that we're doing for Manawa Cow. Do you want to talk about that?
I think there are some that we should be talking about. I did get a couple of requests on how soon notifications would go out for some of the other castings. We've kind of been prioritizing Moku Moku and then another side project that kind of already had a cast in mind that we didn't put up for casting. So there's kind of like there's a lot of irons in the fire, but in order to deliver what we intend to deliver and create the workload that maintains like working on Maui full time in the industry, and that's really what we want to like. I think it's not going to be a single go, and I think that's where like I'm spending a lot of my time reassuring people. I haven't really had any like negative responses about like not getting responded to yet, but I think that like I don't know, sometimes I feel like people get their hopes up if they're not talked to soon enough, but then at the same time it's like we're trying to keep the cost down on a slate of pictures in order to qualify for all these tax breaks. So then it's like you have to cut a few corners. So then it's like, and for me it's like I feel that there's a lot of places in pre-production that the UPM and the producers and like even the directors and the AD can be doing early, or like even the keys, any key that wants to get involved early. Like I think it's just like when you are planning for a long haul on a heist of this proportion, you have to recognize it's going to take time. Yeah. So like we're not like
all our ducks in a row right now.
So like yeah, so I just don't want anybody to feel like sad that they weren't casted, because that's definitely not the case. I do have to say in the case of Ohana Racers, we didn't get enough kids to come out. Like we need we have all the adults we need for that movie, but like it's kind of dependent right now on like a couple adults I want for callbacks, but like if I get the right kid, then that adult might click already just because I know how they play off of each other. So we're like, I pretty much decided any of the kids that have submitted on somewhere level are going to be in the show. It just, I really have to cast all the other Ohanas. I mean, that's the thing is like, we need all the kids. The kids make up the primary cast. He really doesn't like the adults are the also-rans in that story. Like they're supporting actors. So like,
right. For and then the adults around the kids.
Exactly.
Sure.
So I was kind of hoping it would be the other way around. I was hoping that I was going to have like such a hard time going, oh, but like kid A is so cute and kid C is even cuter. Oh my God, who's going to be this role? But then I go, oh, we'll just write twins in or something. So like it's
true.
Yeah. So like I was really hoping that there would just be tons of cake that would come out and then we'd just be like bing, bing, bing cast. But I think at this point, with the fact that like everything's gone to summer, kids availability, like I'd say at this point it's trying to set up a back to school casting. So like with the fact that like at this rate Ohana Racers really can't be shot until end of fall, early January, maybe like spring at the best, because then like the other thing is like casting those kids means that we have a window on like costuming. We have to, because like I need the bodies. I can't just go to a vendor and go, hey, can you give me 200 uniforms? And they go, what size? And I go, whatever, just give me any kind. And then the next thing you know, like I have a whole bunch of kids that don't fit in their outfits, you know. So like I need to be able to know like exactly
go in order,
so
or
like
else it's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest studio style production that Maui's gonna see outside of like HBO. And I don't mean to be like too much of a braggart on that, but like I have to be at least positive in saying that like we're trying to do something that really only the California studios do. So we're trying to bring real Hollywood business to Maui without it being imported from California. Because it's like they got all that Aina to play around with. Why do they have to come out like we should be able to make our own movies, you know? So
we should be able to do what we want.
I'm feeling really good about Moku Moku. We're just about done with casting on that, which means then we'll wrap up casting on the adults for Ohana Racers, because there's a few that are in contention that we're like, oh, well then if we just get them in now for Moku Moku and then we figure out who's in for Ohana Racers and who's not, we can just at least send out, you know, the casting sheet. I think outside of that, I mean, the rest of the projects are kind of like under wraps for phase 2. So like So I mean, we've got, and then Rough Riders is much further on the horizon, just because it's gonna take a lot to do as far as set wise, and then it's specialty uniforms for all the characters. So that one's gonna take about as long as Ohana Racers to get. And then the crazy part is that's just 5 people, but their costumes, like the leather work and the kind of stuff that we intend to do with that, like within means of the budget. So like I really expect that we could be in production for Moku Moku and our kids show, which I hope to be talking about very soon. We got a table read. We're gonna share that later. Patty Lee, met her when we talked about Ocean Black, and now she's collabing with us on an amazing show, Philomena the Daring and the History Pirates. So we're hoping to have the pilot episode for that shot by end of summer, and then shooting it full time in the fall, and we get at least like 2 or 3 episodes of Moku Moku in, and we start a monthly, essentially like 1.5 to 2 weeks every other month that the production unit's together. And so we just slowly build it up until the team is bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, so I will definitely be posting crew calls within the next month and a half, but we just got to get past Comic-Con. I mean, I think that's really like our window for starting was based on investor availability, and a lot of that was also hinging on like, you know, relationships made over time and stuff like that, and you can't like rush anything in this economy type of stuff. So like, I don't know. I think we're moving at the right pace for being a small studio.
Position right now.
We're absolutely.
Position. We're exactly where we need to be, and it's coming along. It's all coming together.
That it is. Oh, and then we've also got our 48 film that we did for Hawaii Filmmakers Collective. We've got a final meeting on the final edit, and we're going to be putting that up free on Amazon as kind of just like a studio sample. So then that way, like, people can kind of see it, and, you know, and then that way you can also see Sarah, because the cool part about that is like, it connects to our IMDb's. So that's a little hack for you indie filmmakers out there, is like,
really?
Yeah, that's half the reason why I'm
go on IMDb.
the IMDb algorithm and Amazon are connected.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because that yoga retreat was just put on it as well.
So make sure your IMDb listing is correct on that.
Yeah.
And then you get yourself some Amazon SEO. That's a big thing for actors. You got to make sure your IMDb is legit, because if the movies go on Amazon, that's your, can you be found on a major platform? Like, and that's like everybody's got an Amazon account post COVID.
Oh my God. Can you talk about how to get that set up? Because I don't even know, what do I have to do? What do I have to do that? Just go to my IMDb and just
make sure all your listings, just update your IMDb resume, and then because then it's gonna list you properly in the credit section on Amazon, because that's what it sources. It uses the IMDb link for all and then if you write trivia, it goes in the overlay from Amazon. Yeah, because it has this cool feature called X-ray, and so whoever's in the scene, whatever faces are in the scene, it has this little AI technology that goes, oh, Sarah Rodriguez is in the scene, and then it'll bring up trivia and facts about Sarah on set if there are any listed in the IMDb or on your personal IMDb. So make sure to always fill out your movie trivia section. Like if you had a funny anecdote about something that happened on set, fucking put it on IMDb, because then it can go in your trivia section.
I didn't even know that is available to do.
Yeah, that's So I mean,
all the hints.
That's why we're releasing it on there and we're not monetizing on it. It's really just like it's SEO. It's starting us out. It's putting us on a platform that has the most availability, like in any country. YouTube is censored in some countries, but Amazon is not, weirdly, just because of relationships. So then it puts us on a platform that anybody can play immediately. It's going to be free on Amazon. We will be releasing a little like how it's made 48 video that'll have the 48 original cut and then the final Amazon cut, and then the like how we wrote it and creation process and behind the scenes footage, and then some interviews with the cast and crew upon its release, and that'll come as a pre-taped little piece because we don't really have the time to get together for a live dealie. So we're just gonna do some little separate like selfie cam. I loved doing it. Can't wait to be back with my fam on set again type of stuff. And that whole chunk will be available on Facebook. So you have to watch the whole thing. That's right. I'm being a pain in the ass. So if you want to watch it, just the end results, then you can go to Amazon and it's free. But if you want to watch the original cut, you have to listen to us talk for 45 minutes, and then you can watch the original cut and the end cut. And I will have links to Amazon on there, so that way you don't. But the 48 cut will only be on the little cast Q&A video. So yep. So that's the only way that you're gonna be able to watch that is like that, because I'm being like a weird chop house, and I'm just like, no, this is the official director's cut edition. This is our end result. So if you want to see the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, you got to watch the special edition featurette. So,
love it.
Because I'm that guy that'll make a 45-minute featurette for a 5-minute film. Exactly. Dare me. I'll of course challenge accepted.
Love it. Sweet.
Yeah. So so the Wish
for that
coming up probably right before Comic-Con. It'll probably come out like right before. Yeah, so like probably like right around the same time of the roast of Flat Earth Dave.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, that's like 3 weeks away.
Right before Comic-Con?
Yeah, that's like a week.
A busy month.
I know, exactly. So we got so much coming up, which like, oh my God, like, I think that like I kind of broke Jonathan's brain when it came to teaching him about like what flat earthers believe, because like he had to try to understand like all the diagrams and stuff and all like the weird like pseudo-Christian elements inside of it that like get people to just like reject like reality. But I feel that's not politics, because that's a segment follow-up. So I didn't even mention interviews, so I did good today. But no, Flat Earth Dave, yeah, no, I will give him a mental health day too. So yeah, we will re-rendezvous on the Flat Earth Dave subject next week. Well, we got anything fantastic to say about our lives before we go today, Sarah?
I just got signed in the Midwest.
Yeah?
I got signed in the Midwest, so let the auditions begin.
Dig it.
Yes. But other than that, no, what about you?
Played a couple video games this week, tried to take a day off, but then for all the time that I normally spend researching news, I was like, oh, I could play a video game for an hour. So like,
what video game are you playing? I haven't played video games in forever.
I started Jurassic.
I just played it with Coco like last week, but what are you playing?
I started Jurassic World Evolution 2 a couple weeks ago, but then after install, I kind of just like I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of like pre-game and not enough game, and it already says I'm like 40% of the way through the story mode, so I'm kind of like upset that like only a few hours of play means I'm already done. But on the bright side, like I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so instead of paying, $100 every time you want a new video game, it's $27 a month and you get the whole video game store.
No brainer on that.
Yeah,
one.
Exactly. So like
I wonder if they feel like that for like the Switches, where you can like go and like sign up and have like unlimited games, or like you know.
Yeah, no, we have that on our Nintendo Switch. There's the and the thing is, on Switch it's a family plan actually. And so like if you have multiple Switches, they can like ours can play like classic Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64 games on it. They're included with the subscription. Yeah.
I love the.
So you could totally play like Legend of Zelda and like Mario 64, and then you could play like Super Mario on NES.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Pretty darn good. But yeah, so I played that, but then I did play Assassin's Creed Origins, and I thought like generically as like a prequel, like how it all began, it was pretty cool. But then I felt like there's just way too many side missions. I like side questing as much as the next man, but there's a point to where like there's like 60% of the game is side quests, and so if you want your like $27 a month worth out of it, you want to go on all those side quests. But then at the same time, I got to the end of the story and I was like, I'm not going back with those side quests. I'm gonna go play another game because.
Can you only play one game at a time?
Huh?
So it's like you have to download a game. You can only play one game.
Oh no, you can download as many games as you want, but it's like they take up so much space. So like you can have a small game that takes up less than a gigabyte of space, but then like you could have like an epic game that takes up 200 gigs of space. I mean, with all of the add-ons and expansions, Microsoft Flight Simulator can take up a whole raid. So like it just depends on the game. And then I'm about to end a game called Chorus. It's a dogfighting. It's a dogfighting space game. You play as this female space pilot with psychic powers, who has this like really cool, super futuristic ship that can like teleport, slash through other ships, and like fires the missiles everywhere type of thing. And so it's like Star Fox. Yeah, it's a lot like playing like Star Fox meets Panzer Dragoon. But yeah, so I made a little video game time, but it's like always been in like the odd hours of the night to where like I'm too exhausted to do work because like I've already been working for like 10 hours, and then like I'm at home in front of my desk.
You just need to like kill some time, so you only have like half your brain capacity that's left from the day.
Exactly, and it's kind of like that. It's like, do I take a nap or do I use this to keep me awake?
Mm-hmm.
So like it really, yeah.
There's two movies that I really want to see, and I'm curious if you have seen them. Obviously, the new Tom Cruise movie, Top Gun. Have you seen it yet? I haven't seen it yet.
Not. I do not have the same fantasy with Top Gun as everybody else, especially since I was raised in the town with that fucking house in it. So, and then San Diego. So, and that's the other thing is we can take you to the Top Gun bar when we go to Comic-Con because it's right down the street. Yeah. So we'll make sure to go on preview night so that because it's gonna be packed in there on the weekend. I know that they're probably gonna do something special there. So like expect it. Yeah, expect that the Top Gun house in Oceanside, like, and that's the thing is like, yeah, there's a lot of.
I've been to Oceanside. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think that's gonna be interesting, but like I just don't have the same. I don't have the same like Americana fascination with like my favorite Tom Cruises were always like Rain Man or Cocktail. Like I thought Mission Impossible was cool just because of the limits he's taken it to, but like I like I'm not a Jack Reacher Tom Cruise fan. You know, I can get that out of fucking Liam Neeson if I wanted to, but like, you know, so it's like Last Samurai, please no. But like, if like, if there's anything that he's really good at, is like taking you to a place of uncomfortable feelings and then like fighting like the everyday demons type of stuff. Like I like his more serious work, you know. So it's and yes, is it a serious story? Is it kind of propaganda? And then that's the other reason why I probably didn't want to talk about that one today, because it would make me talk about like the political side of that film. So
I can see how you're like swaying, like
yeah, I'm already starting to get the cold sweats. Like I'm just gonna like I gotta take my hat off now. I'm gonna sweat.
Take the hat off.
I just like
Start sweating.
You know what? I need to cool down. I need to vape a bit.
Okay, so how about the new Jurassic? Is it Jurassic World?
I am excited to go see it. Planning to go to that one in the theater. Which that'll be my first theater movie in a while. I think the last one was Spider-Man for me. So, because I don't go to the theaters that often, because it's not that like I did a lot when I was a kid. Like being a poor kid growing up, I learned the art of the multiplex. I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of theaters that are probably out of business because of me. My mom taught me that art. Go figure, she would be like a woman of prestige in government one day. But yeah, she taught a boy how to multiplex a theater. So like I was that kid who figured out how to watch 3 movies in a day, and I'd take my own tub of popcorn. Or when they had like that infinite bag or whatever, like. You go and you buy it at the beginning of the month, and then you fold up the bag and you take it home with you, and then you bring out the bag from the theater after like 15 minutes into it, because then they think, oh yeah, you're getting your refill now. And then like after making it through a couple multiplexes, shift change. By the second movie, the shift has changed and you get refills on your popcorn again. So like, and then back in the day, that was before QR codes and clubs and all that shit. So it was just you had the bag and the bag got refilled. That was it. So I go and I get that bag refilled, and then like I pretty much just like I get a soda at the beginning, and then I'd water up for the rest because of all that damn salt in the popcorn. And then and then we go like we pay for one movie and we go see 3. Yep. I'm not gonna lie, I was that kid, because like I wanted to see movies, and then I didn't want to be like. And it's not to say that I didn't want to be out sometimes, but our neighborhood wasn't always the best. So, like, the movie theater was a great place that you could walk through the safe parts and then go hide for a day. So, it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think I saw a lot more movies than most kids my age just because of that. And then at one point in time, I did help somebody do a refurb on a theater, and I got, like, free tickets for a year. And, yeah, so like, cause I'm one to do like crazy trades like that. So then it's like, so then I got to see a lot more movies. Like, and so I'd go like the weekend after it came out on like a Tuesday and pretty much get the theater to myself, because they wouldn't care anyways, because they're playing it to an empty room. So might as well let one person go in for free. So yeah. So like that's definitely on my list is the new Jurassic movie. I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews about it. I'm just stoked that Sam Neill is going to be back in it. I know him and Laura Dern, like, from what I hear people say, they don't look like they were just, like, there to be there and round out the story. Some of the mixed reviews have stated that Jeff Goldblum seemed like he was the only one who cared to be there. So, like, we'll see. But I'll watch Jeff Goldblum, like, read a cereal box. So, like, I don't care. Like, yeah.
Jurassic. Either way, even if it's going to be shit, I still want to see it.
Yeah. Well, and then for all the things that happen in the second video game, because the video game takes place during the movies. So it's the story in the video game is like dinosaurs are already taking over North America. So like at this point, so like we've kind of got a passage of time going on since the last film. So it's kind of like, okay, what's happened since the last movie? Did you see the short film that came out in between the two movies? Look up Jurassic World short film, and it should show up on Universal's YouTube channel. But there's a little 5-minute film about a family going camping in Colorado, and there's like dinosaurs at the campsite.
Up in the Colorado campsite.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm just about caught up on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. It's getting really good. Obi-Wan was really epic last week. Lots of good lightsaber action. They finally like let that out of the gate. We're getting a lot of really cool like new flashbacks of Hayden Christensen, so he's getting real screen time as Anakin. So we're flashbacking to pre-Vader, and like so there's a training fight between Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and it's like the whole backdrop for like the conversation in the episode and like Vader chasing Obi-Wan. So it's really good. So like
Cool,
I have been consistently happy with this one more than the others. Like I like Mando and Book of Boba Fett, but there were like slight things missing, and I really think it was the fact that like they let Chow just like have the whole show to herself. So like I really think that like that made a difference, and I think that that's what's gonna make a difference when Taika Waititi gets his in like 2025. Like they're just polishing the script now, but like. New Taika Waititi Star Wars, and then like Disney announced like 11 Star Wars movies and TV shows.
Really?
Yes. So a lot of that stuff's gonna be at Comic-Con. They're gonna be talking about that all over it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Dude, those were the rides at Disney were the Star Wars ones. Oh my god, they were so good.
Yeah, I don't think I've been watching much of anything else. I mean, Catfish is back, so like that's my guiltiest pleasure is Catfish.
Catfish
On MTV. That's like my.
That was gone for a while, wasn't it?
Nope.
It wasn't, or is it just popular for a hot minute, and then I haven't heard about that in years.
It is
Catfish.
still going strong. It is actually one of MTV's most profitable franchises to the point to where they actually have international versions of it now. So like, there's a UK Catfish and there's a Brazil Catfish. I watched all of the recent episodes of UK Catfish. They was like, but they did go to some crazy places in the recent season. But like, I think at this point I really just continue to watch it because like it's a piece of my youth. Like it's kind of just like that's my soap operas. Like I don't watch Days of Our Lives, but I'll check in on an episode of Catfish because I like seeing like the drama in other people's real lives.
Mhm. That's why I love trash TV. Mhm. Just makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why, like, I was totally into Sally Jesse Raphael as a kid. I'd watch Donahue. I'd watch freaking, what's her name? Ricky Lake. Oh, I loved watching Ricky Lake.
Oh, I love me some Ricky Lake. Oh, my God. I would totally skip school and watch Ricky Lake.
Yeah, because pretty much the only time you could watch Ricky Lake was replays at night or during the summer live because then, like, and even then, like, that'd be cut short for the summer season.
Loved Ricky Lake.
Yeah, not much else. I mean, yeah, I think that's crazy that, like, Disney's already got, like, a dozen more Star Wars properties line. But I'm not, because they plan everything 20 years in advance. So,
yeah.
They're
like, this is money. Let's just keep rolling with the punches on this one.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I'm at the, like, the prospect of, like, well, we got to put, like, 5 together. Like, if Disney does 50 20 years in advance, let's just try to do 4 in 3 years.
Right.
You know?
We can
exactly.
do it. We doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing a pretty damn good job. So I'm digging it, taking the bull by the horns.
Me too.
So, but oh man. So next week, you still out on the road?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna go to Michigan tomorrow, and then figuring it out where I'm going next, where life takes me. But I'm definitely going to be going to Comic-Con.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think with that being said, we've jibba-jabbered enough for today.
It was good... How do you feel? How do you feel?
I want to go read the news right now and then tweet about it
Yeah.
later.
That's hilarious.
Do
You
I
end
feel?
up coming out with another like little mini podcast episode. Okay, so
Yeah.
news.
Actually, I already have a bonus
now
episode
that
of some.
phone with Sarah.
Yeah.
Back to some politics.
No, I think if I yelled on the mic by myself, I would just sound like a nut job. So I think having a co-host makes me feel less crazy. All right, well, mahalo everyone for listening to the crazy today and just going on the magical ride. Next week I'll be back in full force. I got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about. It'll be on the feed this week. Definitely follow and like and subscribe on all fronts on there. Always in the show notes. Sarah.
Catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Aloha.
Rabbit Holes is a Manawa production. This episode was produced by Kawika and Sarah Rodriguez. Make sure to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast platforms to add our weekly episodes to your queue.